Niall, a couple of weeks in the job now, how's it going?
Yeah, great. I'm really enjoying it. It's hard work. It's invigorating, exciting, and upsetting at times. It's a lot of understanding of the game here, the domestic game, and all the verticals that lie underneath the association's control, and a lot of fear out there still, and there's still danger in some people's eyes, and rightly so maybe, that okay, we've had some help from government recently, but we really have to use that help wisely, and we have to drive the game on in all aspects. But today is great because today we're actually looking at footballers getting ready to start a new season. The SSE Airtricity League is actually going to be most welcome from me, I think, more than anybody, on the basis that it will take football into the narrative that's out there now when people mention the FAI, and here to support the players, here to support the clubs, and looking forward to a really good year. I think they will be actually leading from the front line in regaining the trust and credibility that's needed in the game, and that's why it's important that I came over to the players today, the captains, and had a quiet word, and just to say that we're with you. We actually have a relationship now with their union, who are out in our offices, and who we're allowed actually mingle with again, and they're allowed to mingle with us. That wasn't happening for a long time, but having been a player myself, I know of the ambition of the players. Also runs along with that is the concern about where their careers are going, and it's up to us. We put the player at the forefront of any changes that we're bringing in. I think the whole game will benefit, and I think that goes right down to the elite programs that we'll be hoping to put in place at clubs, and giving them a hand to really get the academy infrastructure up to real good speed. And we're charged with doing that as part of the support that we got from government, and then right down to the grassroots game, which is I believe is going to rise by virtue of the game at the top becoming more important to Irish life. So a lot in there. Now, good question, Niamh. Yeah. not as
good answer.
Yeah, but not as easy as our job up in Ballymount.
I'm telling you. But I was actually talking to Jack Byrne a couple of weeks ago, and he said he felt personally that the League of Ireland had been abandoned. Is that what you're hearing from a lot of the players now, that you're saying you're talking to them now? Do they
but we don't want to spend too much time looking backwards either. We're here, and I think the announcement from government will prove that we're here to give the elite game a better enablement. I would have said in the past, before I took this job, that the League of Ireland was blocked, it wasn't treated properly, and that it needed to be put at the priority of the game's intentions. I'm in the job now, and I'm not going to change from that. I think a strong League of Ireland means a strong elite programme coming in underneath it. It means a strong grassroots programme. It means amateur football in general is going to thrive. But I think where we can get some real wins is women's football. I think we have a great opportunity. The government have insisted that we pour much more money into women's football than in the past, so we've no choice on that, and I'm very excited about that. There's a number of areas there in the game, but that's the exciting bit about going to work every day, that you feel you can make a difference and rise all of those verticals to make a stronger association.
And you got the few bob there last week. Is it enough? And I suppose, is the task now how to divvy it out and how to best use it?
It's not enough. It never is enough, particularly when you look at the value that football brings to Ireland. Not a lot of people do that, but we've got some great stories to let the Irish public know about the value of football. That will come out particularly around the Euro 2020 time, when directly cash, the City of Dublin will come in well over 100 million, and the government has guaranteed a minimum 30 million return to the Exchequer. So football has a value, but if you then start looking at all the the players that play around the country and the infrastructure that's there, you could have 300,000 players playing a match at a weekend. When you add up the I suppose the social value, the socio-economic value of football per individual in this country, it really does weigh up to a colossal sum. We'll talk about it more in the future, but football's important, as all sports are. I'm not here to row with other sports who
we saw the Basketball Ireland.
But it's not a contest. We'd love to speak to Basketball Ireland and say, look, let's come together on this. Let's all look for more from sport, because we're actually doing all the great things that perhaps others aren't. And sport trundles along, does its bit, subservient in many ways. But rather than complain and have a contest against each other, we'd love to sit in and be part of a forum where we all go for more together. At basketball, we're particularly unlucky in timing as well, because the Troika were in town when their funding was cut. There was no money for lots of things, but the landscape has changed, and I believe with all the promises that we hear to be made by whoever's going to be in government soon, that sport should do an awful lot better. And rather than fight each other because one got something the other didn't, let's go at it together. Let's get everybody up higher up in the list, and be very happy to speak to basketball anytime, tell them how we did it and how, perhaps they might learn from us, other associations we might learn from them. But let's get a forum to put sport right at the top of the agenda. It's been too far down the pecking order for now. And the other thing was my two cousins played basketball for Ireland. I used to love going watching them play, and basketball is something I'd love to see get more money to.
You're tall enough to play yourself.
I only played once and I got sent off, so I never went back.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.